In a late decision on Friday, the state Supreme Court sided with Republicans on new voting maps for the fall. The maps are expected to help Republicans, but by just how much? Political reporter Will Keneally answers that question. Will?
That's right. So the red lines you can see behind me show the geographic difference between the current maps and those approved by the state Supreme Court on Friday. May not look like much, but that change could have a big impact on the seats themselves, possibly leading to something that we haven't seen in a long time, a legislative supermajority. It'll take a lot to win a supermajority. John Johnson of Marquette University says Republicans would need more than a 7-point victory to pull it off.
It's a better statewide performance than we've seen a Republican get in one of these marquee races for a long time.
That's better than former Governor Scott Walker did in all of his elections. In fact, the only candidate to come close to this was Democrat Tammy Baldwin in 2018. She beat Republican Leah Vukmir by 11 points in a race that was called within 5 minutes of polls closing. Republicans would need that kind of win in November.
We can imagine it happening, right? In a year where the Republican base is really enthusiastic and the Democratic base is less so.
Usually, the president's party does poorly in midterm elections, which could make this a bad year for Democrats. But Johnson says changing demographic trends could put a damper on that.
It used to be that Republicans were even a little bit more highly educated than Democrats. And now that's flipped.
Low turnout elections like midterms traditionally favored Republicans because they have demographics that turn out, higher educated, older voters. Johnson says Baldwin also played well in rural Wisconsin, more so than other Democrats.
It's not just that they need to drive up their statewide vote share. They need to drive up their performance in specific areas in the way that Baldwin's campaign was able to do in 2018.
So I also asked Johnson what seats he thinks will be particularly competitive. He pointed to the 73rd Assembly District in northern Wisconsin, which includes Superior. That seat is now open after the retirement of Democrat Nick Milroy. There's a lot to watch here.
Will, thank you.